Hello everyone, welcome to Sunburned Albino Plays Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair, episode 19. We just got done doing some stuff at the motel. This car has to play something into something, right? Looks like it's not a clue to the incident. Not yet, I guess. There's still like a couple more places to go. You know, people keep getting their supplies from the market, but it's never like a clue-ridden place. Probably because, like, you know, what would you find there? It's like if you go to a grocery store and look for evidence that somebody took food out of there, what are you gonna find? Just empty space? Like, it's not... It's not anything. What is this Lucha Libre thing? The Wizard of Monami. Oh, they got the hemp bag from here. I think I actually remember that being on the table when we got our stupid little thing for not watching the movie. But then if they... I thought it was either watch the movie or take a thing. Maybe they'll come back to it. Why, hello there, Hajime. I knew you'd come here. That means you noticed it too, right? The case this time is an imitation case, in which the killer used that movie as their theme. I wouldn't know. I haven't watched that movie yet.
I see.
I see. Then you really should watch this movie first. Hey, manager! A customer's here!
Did you call me?
Yes! Did you call me?
What?
Huh? Hajime's the customer? Do you have a problem with that?
What are you gonna do?
And you said you didn't want to watch it, but I knew you wanted to see it all along. If that's what Tsundere Hajime looks like, then you're really a tough guy. You were so devoted to being Tsundere, you even bought the Monokuma sticker for $1.5 million.
Huh?
You paid $1.5 million for a sticker? It's nothing.
Listen up.
In exchange for not watching this movie, Hajime paid $1.5 million for a Monokuma sticker. Come on, since we're talking about it anyway, why don't you show it to Nagito? Stop it. But my resistance was in vain, and Monokuma reached into my pocket and took the sticker. See, it's this one! I'm sorry, I was born stupid. You bought this for $1.5 million? But in the end, he's still gonna watch the movie. Who cares about that anymore? Just hurry up and give me an invitation ticket.
Here.
Okay, here you go. It already says so on the invitation ticket, but it's only effective today at this time. By the way, I can only give away one ticket per person. You only have one chance to watch it for free. I've already stamped today's date onto the ticket, so you won't be able to cheat. Don't worry, I only plan to watch it once.
Look forward
Then
to
I'll
it,
go prepare
okay?
the projection reel. Please wait a bit, okay?
Hey.
Hajime, about that invitation ticket, I strongly recommend you keep that safe. Huh? Why? No reason, just think of it as a protective charm. I guess I should just wait until Monokuma finishes his preparations. That reminds me, that item should be on top of the counter. This one looks like a tote bag made of hemp cloth with a decal of Monami's face on it. Ah, did that catch your eye? It's an all-purpose tote bag useful for a variety of common tasks. It's a limited item. Only one person can have it. If the tote bag is gone, that means...
What's this?
Whoa there, were you interested in buying that tote bag?
Too bad.
Well, that's just too bad. It's already sold out. Who'd you sell it to?
You're so
Stupid, there's no way I'd
stupid.
fall for that. There's no way I'd say something that'd reveal who the killer is. So the killer bought it? Ah! Ah! I remember you said there was only one because it's a limited item, right? It's not limited to one. It's more like it's limited to one person. What's the difference?
Hey.
When you buy one bag, you get another one free. It's a common practice to bait customers with bonus prizes. For some reason, hearing you say that pisses me off. So one and one free, huh?
Well now.
Now then, I should forget that I carelessly made a slip of the tongue.
Now
Looks
then.
like the preparations are complete, so please enter the theater right away.
I can't wait.
This
I
is
can't
exciting!
wait.
Exciting! Well, shoot. I apologize for keeping you waiting. World-famous director Monokuma presents a stunning masterpiece that reduced American audiences to tears. The Wizard of Monami 2.5D will be screening shortly. From the title alone, I have a bad feeling about this. 2.5D, that sounds so half-assed. Now then, please relax and enjoy the film.
Monokuma was born in a remote village full of old people because the death rates outpaced the birth rates. One day, Monokuma was swept up by a tornado created by a helicopter gunship during a routine military exercise, and was whisked away to Monami's country. Monokuma wanted to return to his homeland so he could go back to pestering the old people for change. So he began his journey to see the wizard Monami, who was rumored to grant any wish one desires. Along the way, he met a very loyal group of friends. Monokuma met a Monami scarecrow who was missing a brain. When he recommended that she commit suicide, the Monami scarecrow hanged herself and died.
That's great.
He also met a Monami lion who was missing her courage, so he pumped her full of arrows.
What the fuck is this?
He also met a Monami tin man who was missing a heart, so Monokuma sliced her into lumps of iron. After a lot of other stuff happened, Monokuma finally reached the wizard Monami, the great
The
and
ultimate
powerful.
plot cop-out.
Eventually, one thing led to another,
Oh,
and he
followed by
started
another
beating
plot
the crap
cop-out.
out of Monami. And in the end, he somehow usurped the kingdom from her. With this, Monokuma enslaved the old people, took their pensions, and lived the rest of his days in luxury. And he lived happily ever after.
How the fuck is that
end.
related to this murder? Man, movies are the best! That drama was so moving that I needed 2 boxes of tissues, one for each head! Ugh.
So...
Now then, let's meet again at the class trial.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, bye-bye! I'm too disgusted to even let out a sigh right now. That's all I can say to describe the situation. How was it? Actually, I don't even have to ask. I totally expected your reaction. That was honestly the worst movie I've ever seen. Is it even okay to call that a movie?
Well,
But thanks to that movie, now you know, right? Yeah. Just like he said, the characters who were killed in the movie match the victims in this case. What? Ibuki's death by hanging matched the Scarecrow's... Oh! Alright. Not just that, but Hyoko's suspended body matches the lion's death, too. No, because she wasn't pumped full of arrows.
but...
It would have been a complete imitation if the killer killed 3 people, but it seems that wasn't possible. Perhaps the killer is upset about that right now? Or... If the killer's main goal was just an imitation murder, they should be upset about it, but... I'm not sure if that's even true. Alright, well... Yeah, I drew no connections between that and the actual thing, so maybe that's my bad. The only thing that is just, like, the first person was hanged. Even if I saw that movie first, and then saw the murder, I never would have said, like, oh, this is related to that. That is the most obtuse connections I've ever heard. But we go to the hospital now. You've been missing for a long time. Hey, you prepared that surveillance camera unit, right?
Hey!
Yeah, so? I didn't make any weird modifications or anything. It's not like I'm suspicious or anything. Didn't you get this from that shady-looking alley where all those machines were lined up?
Right!
Yeah, I just tweaked it a little. Then, if there are other surveillance camera units, would it be possible to transmit a signal to the hospital from those cameras too?
Man...
No, that's impossible. Originally, surveillance cameras and surveillance monitors are only used as part of the same unit. The video that was filmed with the hospital camera can only be viewed on the hospital monitor. The video that was filmed with the music venue camera can only be seen on the music venue monitor.
Hey!
But if I left it like that, we wouldn't have been able to communicate, so I decided to swap the cameras. So that's how you guys were able to view the hospital footage from the music venue and vice versa. However, each surveillance camera unit manages its broadcast based on a specific number. So even if you bring the same model camera or monitor, you won't be able to interfere with the signal. Meaning, even if another surveillance camera exists, it'd be impossible to broadcast with it.
Huh?
However, I didn't just swap the cameras. I modified them and increased the wireless range. If I hadn't done that, we wouldn't have been able to use it. You're right, you did work on that.
Well?
I feel like I haven't been here in a while, even though it's only really been a few days. I should investigate the lobby first. Okay, I guess we'll look at this. There's a surveillance camera unit on top of the reception desk. As long as the music venue's surveillance camera unit is destroyed, it's impossible to broadcast with this.
Hajime!
Hey, Hajime, there's something I want to ask you. You first discovered Ibuki's body at the music venue, right? But why did you go to the music venue? You had a reason for that, right? Did you see something with this camera?
That's right!
Oh, I also wanted to ask you that. It'd be different if the surveillance camera unit could record, but it's only good for household functions.
Hey!
Tell me, Hajime. Yeah, that's exactly it. I saw a strange video in that surveillance camera unit. It showed the music venue stage. There was a black curtain hanging like there is now, but the whole display was pretty dark because they were just using candlelight. There was rope hanging from the ceiling, and beneath that there was a stepladder on the floor. And right away, a person wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head appeared. I didn't know who it was because their face was covered, but now I know that must have been Ibuki. She walked straight to the stepladder, and without any hesitation, she climbed that stepladder of her own free will, and then she grabbed that rope, and that's all I saw. The candlelight being used must have been snuffed out or something because the screen went dark all of a sudden, and it wasn't displaying anything anymore.
Man...
Well, if the candlelight goes out, obviously nothing will show up. Modern surveillance cameras have infrared functions, so things can still show up even in the dark. But the one I got from the machine alley was a really old model. Hold on.
Well?
At the time, you said you didn't know the person wearing the hemp bag was Ibuki, right? Yeah. You didn't know it was her, but you saw she was trying to hang herself. So you rushed over to the music venue to try and stop her. But I didn't make it in time.
Hey!
Still, if she climbed the stepladder on her own, does that mean she committed suicide? Wouldn't that mean she's her own killer? Ibuki committed suicide? What do you think, Chiaki? There's no doubt Ibuki climbed the stepladder on her own, right? Yeah, there's no doubt. If so... Hey, don't think for so long. If you don't know, just be honest about it. Well, of course she doesn't. There's no way we'd be able to figure that out so easily. No, yeah, no. It's not like I instantly knew that before we even knew who the victim was. Oh, yeah. I need to investigate the conference room on the second floor. I'm heading over there. What the heck? She ran away all of a sudden. She said the conference room, but why would she mention the conference room all of a sudden? Also, I might just be overthinking, but did she seem a little upset? Oh, Akane's here.
Now then.
Phew, finally getting back to my normal self.
All right.
Hajime, help me out with my recovery! You can touch my boobs if you win! No thanks. She was bearable when she was quiet. It'd be so much better if she was still feeling the after effects. She'd beat me up if I said that out loud. Anyway, why are you here?
Hey!
Well, I've never been sick or hurt before, so I had no idea, but hospital gowns are pretty comfy. I was thinking I might as well keep wearing one. Don't tell me you plan to wear hospital gowns from now on. That's the idea, but it looks like they're out of stock. It looked like there was one gown for each patient's room, so I thought there'd be more in the empty rooms. There weren't any gowns?
Yo!
Yep, that's right. Ibuki died wearing one, so the only one left is the one Nagito was wearing. If I have no choice, then I should just use Nagito's. It's a unisex size, so I'll probably be able to fit in it. Hold on, what happened to the gown you were wearing?
Huh?
Are you saying I should wear the one I already wore? That's gross! Wearing clothes someone else was wearing is even grosser.
Like...
No time to dilly-dally. I totally left Mikon back at the music venue. Crap, I gotta go back soon. Well, it's okay since I already investigated the music venue, but leaving her on guard duty was a bad idea. Don't do that. Patient's room. Patient's room. Which room was Ibuki in? Looks like this is an open room. There shouldn't be anywhere inside. That was... Oh, that was Fuyuhiko's room. This... And this was Nagito's room. Was this Ibuki's room? No. I guess we'll go upstairs then. Oh, look at that. I've never been up here before. Like, it usually just transports you into the conference room. That's strange. Or the on-call room, actually. Let's go here first, just because I know Chiaki went to the other place. This isn't a room for patients. It looks more like an on-call room for hospital staff. But all this cluttered medical equipment makes it look like a storage room. If this is the only on-call room, working at a hospital must be tough work. So if a room like this exists, that means there used to be people here, right? Seriously, what the heck is going on with this island? Medical equipment and nursing tools. There's a lot of other medical stuff here, too. This room looks like it's used to store equipment. There's nothing but in particular that catches my eye. There's a bed. It resembles the ones in the patient rooms, but these are probably for breaks. Now's not the time to rest. I should go back to investigating. Will do! What's this? It's pitch black. I can't see anything. Where's the switch?
Hey.
Don't turn it on. Huh? Chiaki, are you there?
'Cause...
If you turn on the light, it's gonna be fully exposed. It'd be embarrassing. What's fully exposed?
Hey.
Hey, Hajime? If you poke out your eyes, you can turn on the light. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna poke them out? I'm not gonna poke out my eyes.
Aww.
Aw, bummer. Troll fail. No sooner did she finish saying that, I heard the dry sound of curtains being drawn. There was a flash of intense light that stung my eyes a little. I squinted my eyes until they started adjusting to the light. And I saw Chiaki had finished opening the curtain that was covering the window.
Hey, hey.
Were you surprised? Surprised? I don't get it.
Well?
I got it. Got what?
See?
The curtains in this conference room are designed to completely block out light. There's a projector in here, so they were probably careful about light shining through.
See?
See? A black curtain that blocks light, and it's also long enough to reach the floor. It's perfect. A black light-blocking curtain. That's why it was so dark. So, was something wrong with it? I'm still in the middle of investigating, so it's a secret. Yep, she's upset. But still, what was all that about? That bit about it being embarrassing if I look and troll fail?
Nope.
I just wanted to mess with you. Yep, she's definitely upset. Why is she acting so childish? I guess I'm done investigating the hospital. I should move on to a different place.
Hello! How's the class trial's gonna start, you know? So, make sure you guys come to Monokuma Rock ASAP! I'll see you soon!
Oh, here it comes. Well, then there's only one black curtain. But the other black curtain was like the one on the stage, way wider than it would have fit on that window to the right. It's already time. So this again. I need to go to that place again. But now's not the time to be a coward. The reason Ibuki and Hiyoko became victims, in order to find the truth. The only thing I can do is go. Alright, go show me the map. Oh, we're already like, okay. The class trial's about to start, and I'm not sure who did it, but I know it was either Sonia or Kazuichi or Mikan. Those are the only three people I can think of. Oh yeah, why Mikan? Well, you'll see. Just cause it's, you know... Like, if somebody got some of the stuff involved in the murder from the hospital, the only people that could have done that were the people who were pretty much cleared to go to the hospital. That would be Mikan, me, Fuyuhiko, and that's it. I don't know. Everyone who heard the announcement had gathered in front of Monokuma Rock, and soon enough...
Welcome!
Is everybody here? Do you guys want to go to the class trial?
Hey,
jerk! Hold it right there!
My name
What?
is
Don't get in my
Dumb
way!
Child.
You're just a dumb little sister who's short a few brain cells.
Hey!
My brain works just fine!
Hey!
Monokuma, what did you do with Nekomaru? I see, so you've come to avenge him. Revenge? That sounds like he died! Sounds like you say. Oops! Anyway, since Nekomaru is unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent.
Bye-bye.
Now then, I gotta go first.
I won't let you.
Hold on! I won't let you escape!
Hey!
Hey, did you hear what he said?
Huh?
Don't worry about it, there's no way Nekomaru is dead. He's just trying to piss us off.
Damn
Of
it.
course he's not dead, there's no way, not in a million years.
Well...
More importantly, it's best if we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens here, every one of us except Nekomaru will die. Why are you so excited about that?
How
Who
about it?
knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing poetic justice prevail.
What
What are you saying, fiend? You'll find out soon enough.
See?
Then let's go.
I'm gonna.
Alright, let's hurry up and get this over with. Yeah, you're right. Ooh, what if Nekomaru killed them? Rawr. We stepped onto the escalator and ascended toward the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock, and that's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed our lined-up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller, but I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. Yeah, that's physically what happens. And when everyone was inside Monokuma Rock, the elevator began its deep descent as usual. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. And when it descended as far as it could go, it finally stopped. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place. My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Well, 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either. Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No.
Why
no.
bother?
Yes.
What?
Well,
Now then, let's begin. It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. And so the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. Ibuki Miyota, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Hiyoko Saionji, the ultimate traditional dancer. Just from looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Mahiru's death. The person who killed those 2 is among us. I definitely can't believe it. Yes, you can! But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost. For our sake, for our friends' sake, for Ibuki and Hyoko's sake. And so, the curtain to the third-class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. Why, yes, I would like to save my current progress. Alright, let's do 35 minutes of a trial, but first, I must... Well, let me set my skills real quick. Oh, yeah, that's right, okay. Cheat code. The time limit doesn't decrease even if you shoot a statement with a silencer. I mean, I don't do that for anything, because I don't use the silencer. We've got ambidextrousness is available. Shred guitar is the new one we got. Increases acceleration speed. Effective during logic dive. Okay, so that's good for if I fall off, then I can get back on the track faster. Alright. Okay, let's view our truth bullets right now. Let's see what everything we have. Monokuma file basically says nothing. Just that Ibuki Miyota's cause of death was the crushed windpipe, so she definitely died by hanging and there were no other external injuries. Hyoko's cause of death was instant, and it was she got her throat slit. So there's that. Blood on the soles of Ibuki's feet. I still don't know how that works. Unless the ladder was also cleaned afterwards. But I don't think so. Rope used for hanging. There's no doubt, yeah, there was no doubt that the cause of whatever. The motel room key. The scrap of thick paper was stuck to the baton lighting. It means that the wallpaper was changed. The pillar that Hyoko was strapped to was changed. The music venue curtain. It's not wide enough to reach all the way because it wasn't built for that. It came from the conference room in the hospital. The step ladder. On its left side there was blood, but I'm not sure how that works. Because I don't get that at all. The candle was found at the front of the music venue stage. It looks like the dim light seen in the surveillance camera video was actually light from this candle. Okay, the surveillance camera unit was broke. The AC temperature was set really high so that, you know, you couldn't tell who died first. Smudge on the floor means the bloodstain was wiped. Since Ibuki had no open wounds, it's believed the blood belonged to Hyoko. Although maybe it belonged to the killer, but that's still, you know, neither here nor there. Semi-transparent glob was stuck to where the music venue and doors touch each other. So they used that to help try and keep them shut, but where did that come from? Mikon's account was that, right up until the Monokuma announcement that morning, Mikon was with Hajime the whole time. Afterwards, she went to the hospital, checked on everyone, realized Ibuki had disappeared. When she rushed out of the hospital, she apparently met up with Fuyuhiko. Surveillance monitor video just shows the hemp bag and that she climbed it with no bloody shoes, by the way. And in the video, there was no bloodstain on the ladder. I can say that for sure. Fuyuhiko's account was that after Fuyuhiko met Mikon in front of the hospital, they split up to search for Ibuki. They checked the movie theater and Electric Ave but didn't find anyone. Apparently Fuyuhiko and Mikon were only separated for a short time. And that just inches me closer to thinking Mikon did it. Sonya's account was why Hyoko was in the music venue in the first place, because she was unable to tie it on her own. She tied her sash from the front, which is not how it's supposed to be. Yeah. So it seems like if she got her throat slit, like, before she was done tying the sash, like, maybe the killer tied the sash in the front because they don't know what's going on with kimonos. So they just, like, quickly just, like, try to wrap her up in it or whatever. Movie and invitation ticket. One ticket was passed out per person, and the date it was passed out is printed on the ticket. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to play into anything, though. Obviously, the killer watched the movie, and they had to have seen it before... I don't know. They could have seen it at any time before the murder took place, so I'm not sure how that's going to help. Monokuma's account was saying that you get another hemp bag for free when you purchase it. So there are 2 hemp bags in circulation, but only one person can buy the bag itself. The Wizard of Monami, there's the movie, there's a total of 3 deaths, whatever. Okay, so that's everything. It's relatively short amount of things. I think this trial's not necessarily going to be, like, easy, but it is going to be less complicated. Or there's less, like, seams to pull on, I guess. So, let's finish our preparations and proceed.
Now then, let's begin. During
Let's
the
not.
If you vote, I'll punish. Oh well, who cares about this?
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up! The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 in the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone, so I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko, so I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the 4 of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillow.
So where was this second hemp bag? I feel like we need to find that shit.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
Huh?
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
Yeah. It's just as Kazuichi said. Nagito's the kind of guy who'll just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it, I shouldn't have explained it to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. But he's not wrong. Like, you know, anything that I said could have been just a big fat lie. Okay.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
No, the monitor video
I
will
don't think I
refute
can
that.
deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Well, that's true.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie
Yeah.
means it probably is Hajime's fault.
No, because I didn't see the movie, you idiot. Is that an
Hajime's
option
testimony
here?
is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie...
Movie's invitation ticket.
That would also...
I don't think I can. After all,
Yeah, this has to be right.
Did Hajime kill...
The fact that the bodies were imitating...
Gotcha!
No, that's wrong! I'm not the killer! I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway. Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with
shit,
Hajime
that's
at the
right.
motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
Me too!
Hey, why are you talking like... Huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
The killer was inside the music venue. Fuyuhiko obviously thinks so, but is that really it? I mean, I guess there's not really any evidence that shows that they did hide in there. But there was also no other way out. So what's the deal?
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
Oh, you know what? I
The lock
totally
was on
get
the
it.
floor in front of the door.
It was the glob.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
No. Before they did the drumstick, they did the glob so they could leave.
By doing that, the killer who was
And
hiding
then come
inside
back in without it. I'm not
waited
sure.
till we gathered together and suddenly
But
appeared.
this is totally the right bullet.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
That person's remark contradicts the truth. I should be able to prove that with my evidence.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside.
No, that's wrong.
Exactly.
Hold on a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob? Like rubber, maybe?
It wasn't rubber at all. That semi-transparent glob was probably...
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible. I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue...
So Mikon is
you'd
back
be
in
able
the
to break
suspect
down
pool.
the door easily, you know? That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
So somebody just planted the broken drumstick, like after they already busted through the door.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left
Or
the
before.
venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier?
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
Oh!
Is that what we found?
Hyoko
in the
was
baton
already
lighting at
tied
music
to the
venue?
post when we got there, but there was that other paper thing like circled around the pillar. So then, in order to reveal, they just like ripped it off, and so it left that scrap of paper. And then Hyoko was underneath that, still tied to everything.
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
I get it. That scrap that was stuck on the baton lighting in the music venue. Now I should be able to figure out what it is. Hangman's Gambit. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. Curtain? No. It's not an E. It's not an R. I know what it is in theory, I just don't know what the word for it is, which is really annoying. What? There it is. W. No. No. Why? Wallpaper? Oh, that's totally what it is. Okay. God, this thing is so giant. I need another L. They just will not give me it, and it's pissing me off. Thank you. Wall. P. I hate this so much. Like, you should know that I absolutely do. Because it's so arbitrary and unrelated to just, like, knowing something. I liked the other one a lot better, because you could just, like, you didn't have to know anything. I mean, like, you had to know, like, all you had to do was know what I mean. You didn't have to, like, do some kind of dumb, like, wait for the letters to appear thing.
That's scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so...
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper... See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
That scrap of paper stuck to the baton lighting was part of that wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give this a try. Logic dive. Alright. I forgot how to jump. Oh, it's triangle, okay. Okay. You gonna give me a prompt anytime soon? Would be neat. Question 1. Why did Hyoko's body... It was hidden. Yes. Yep, indeed. Okay. You know, I don't mind this game. It's kind of weird, but it makes sense, I guess. Question 2. What did the killer use to hide her body? The wallpaper. I mean, it's a nice like roundabout way to confirm what you already know. In a way that doesn't just like spell it out for you. I mean, I guess it does technically spell it out for you, but that's it's kind of a good way to make it so that that conclusion that you've already arrived in is like actually brought into it. They covered the pillar.
It's all coming together! I got it! Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it.
That
there
was
are
weird.
so many similarities.
He definitely
It
said
must have been
mothballs.
intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killer imitated the two victims in that movie, to hide the weapon to mix up the killing order.
I see! The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But It seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. Alright, I'm not entirely... Blood on the souls? It's either that or the stepladder.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
Yeah, okay.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Yep.
I agree with that. Just as
See,
Sonya
this
said,
case is easy.
Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye! Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
What the hell? But it's not like Yasuhiro. Like, this is actually kind of cool.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor. You can't step on blood that was never there. Did you see a nice nightmare?
Despite his exaggerated protests, yep.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Did you see a nice nightmare?
I can't back down!
That's duel. Failed?!
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Did you see a nice nightmare?
I can't back down!
Okay, I was like, what the shit?
As long as Ibuki's body has no open wounds, there's no doubt that that blood is Hiyoko's.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, yes. Then it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your feet. You should feel proud of yourself. It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
I don't get it, because is it continuing? You were supposed to present a thing for me to press triangle to.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Did you see a nice nightmare?
I can't back down!
Oh, I hate this. Okay.
As long as Ibuki's body has no open wounds, there's no doubt that that blood is Hyoko's.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, that it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your... You should... It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
If I draw out the story, there won't be any place for me to counter, just as I thought that word from earlier was the opening. In order to bring back the topic, looks like to be pushed back on purpose.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, yes. That it's possible that the pillar still had... However, you cannot step on the pillar... It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
If I draw out the story, there won't be any place for me to counter, just as I thought that word from earlier was the opening for his rebuttal. In order to bring back the topic, looks like to be pushed back on purpose.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, yes. That it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your feet. You should feel proud of yourself. It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
Damn it!
What are you... You just told me to retreat.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko. Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about... Did you see an...
Oh, wait, no, I see.
I can't back down!
You don't even want me to, like, get this far. Because I'm supposed to press triangle as soon as you say blood.
As long as Ibuki's body has no open wounds, there's no doubt that that blood is Hyoko's.
Why do you gotta be
Hiyoko
so
was
roundabout
taped to the
about
pillar,
it?
yes.
Just pissing me off right now.
That it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it.
Good, push me back already.
You
I
cannot
don't
step
care.
on the pillar with your feet.
I don't care.
You should feel proud of yourself. It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
Okay.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, yes. That it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your feet.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to go back to the original topic.
You should feel proud of yourself. It's been nearly
You didn't
3
do it
years
this
since
time,
I've had
so
to use
what's going on?
60% of my power.
There. Yeah, now I retreat.
Damn it!
Idiot.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko. Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Yes, there was.
Allow me to cut through those words!
Didn't know I had to cut that with triangle, man.
That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things! You don't have proof of that at all!
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor...
Yeah, but the step ladder was
so
still
we'd mix
clean.
up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's
If she
body,
stepped in the blood
it'd
and
be
then
bad if her
stepped
blood
on the
was left
ladder,
out in
there
the
would be
open.
blood on the step ladder, and I'm not talking about the side. Nobody stepped on the side.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
If the time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Alright, that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe and whatnot. And I will see you guys next time.